so yes, we will prevail. Give it up for the Options Council.
Yo, what's going on? This is Alex with the Options Council. And what we believe without counsel, plans fail. But with many advisors, plans succeed. And that's Proverbs 15:22. Here we believe in doing things the godly way. Everything we do is the will of God, right? We're here to promote and also push his kingdom at the same time. Here I'm going to do a recap of May 2026. And here you can see my statement here from P&L from 5/1 to 5/31, 2026. No, this is not a cash account, guys. This is all real money, real account, real money with Fidelity, Active Trader Pro. For the month of May, a nice gain of $3,408, as you can see, total my P&L right there. The biggest trade was $1,400, while my worst trade, which I have to be transparent, is $1,119, right? And the next is 766. So some things I could have did better, but overall had nice gains. You see those gains, guys? Nice gains. So let's get into our biggest trade and our biggest loss. So first we're going to start with Meta, a call on Meta on May the 6th. So let's go. Let's check it out and see what happened. So here I'm on Meta platform. On TradingView is what I use. I'm looking at May 6th, Meta guys. Here I still had the things labeled from when did trade it. First, what I always start off with, I like to look at the daily. And when I look at the daily, I'm just looking for moving averages. I'm looking for if there's any trends. I'm looking for, gap ups and gap downs. I generally like to go with the flow. So if it's a gap up, I want to go with the gap up. If it's a gap down, I want to go with the gap down. I don't try to fight against the wave. So that's just me. That's how I do my thing. Then also I get to the hourly. I also look at the hourly guys too. I like to look for trends on it. That's mainly about all. I want to look for trends, and I also want to look for pre-market lows, pre-market highs, right? So I'm looking at the pre-market lows, which you kind of see my no-go there, my pre-market high, right there, 609.04. So 609.99. I'm sorry. So we'll put that PM high, and I also like I said, the pre-market low, PM low. PM stands for pre-market. Okay. All right. So now that I'm looking at the 1 minute time frame now, and let's see what happened. Let's see what took place. So here I see a nice, I like to call it a 38.2 candle. We will have to get more into that, but a nice heavy top candle. And with this candle, I'm like, maybe we're getting bullish. Why? Because you see my pre-market low. I like to use that as support, right? So now that we're at the support of the day, I'm looking for it to bounce back up to this way, right? Let me get the arrow for you guys. How about that? We'll make it like that. I want to see it go back up like this way, right? Like that. And I want to see it go back to the high of day, right? That's a nice candle. That's holding support. It's also holding the low of day. I mean the low of day since we started at 8:30 this morning. Okay. So let's see what happens. And I'm looking for a bullish one. And look at that beautiful bullish one, guys. A beautiful bullish one that happens right here. And once I get that beautiful bullish one, I want to see a pullback happen. I'm not the type to just jump in off the go, right? I like to see a nice pullback happen. So I wait and see if I can get a pullback. There's my pullback. When I say pullback, guys, I want to see it break the low of the previous candle, pull back, and I want to see buyers step in. And which it did. However, I didn't buy right there because that long wick, I didn't know if it wanted to push back down. So I waited. I wanted to see something break 601.26. And when I say break, I want to see a break and close over 601.26. I'm gonna put break right there. So I waited. I got my pullback, and now my no go is going to come to right here because anything goes below that, I don't want to trade it. And it almost went under, but it saves itself, right? Right. So here it almost hit the break, right? And then as soon as the next candle came, I see it jumping over these wicks. My entry was right here. As you can see, my entry was 601.47. From there, okay, now I want to see it go back to the high of day, right? Because it's breaking out, it's bouncing off the pre-market low support. And from 601.47, we go to a beautiful back to the pre high of day. I didn't want to take it no further. I exited right there's was my exit. 605.59. Beautiful game. $1,400 day. Can ask for much better. Next, guys, I want to get into my biggest loss in May. I will be transparent. I don't have no issues with being transparent. You know, I know there's a lot of traders with my years of experience coming through that they don't tell you all the ins and outs. They don't tell you the losses. You know, you have to have losses. There are going to be losses. You have to fail, but when you fail, you learn, and that's how you get better. So I appreciate the loss, right? So now we're going to go to the loss of the biggest loss of May, which is Amazon. I lost $1,119.35. I did calls on Amazon on 5/7, the exact day after making a big trade on Meta, right? Well, I made $1,400. Well, I just showed you guys. I lost $1,100 the next day. What do you call that? That's ego trading. I thought I was on top of the world, but you know, it's a humbling experience. I pray every day to God for obedience and to do things the right way, His way and not my way. More of Him and less of me. So let's get into it, guys. Let's see what happened. So looking at the daily on this side, I don't see any issues. I don't see any gap ups, gap downs. And then next, I will scroll down to the hourly. I don't see any trends. So now I feel like Amazon is a good trade to stock this day, right? So let's check it out. And you will see already markups where from what I'm trading it, but I just want to show you guys an explanation, right? Because every loss, I always go back and analyze. Even every win, I go back and analyze and see, okay, what did I do good on this trade to make me, to bless me to make money? What did I do bad on this trade? How can I get better? So let's go. So most likely what I seen on this day on May 7th is I seen a bullish one come, right? But of course, like I said, I don't like to get in. I like to do the pullback. So let's see if we get a pullback. There it is, guys. This is your first pullback where it breaks the previous candle's low right there. And now I'm looking for something to close above 274.66, right? Nope, it didn't close. However, I bet you I ego traded because as you can see, it did jump above and I probably jumped in right then and there and it closed right back under this candle, which is the wrong thing to do. That's why I typically like to wait for a candle to close and then make my entry. So this most likely was my entry. Sorry, guys. All right, so I'm put entry there, which is a bad entry. I like to see a bullish one, right? I like to see a full closing candle over this pullback candle. Let's see what happens. And my profit target, of course, was back at the high of day. I love to go back to the high of day, when I see it kind of bouncing off this pre-market area, right? But we were already closing under it anyway. So I want to see a nice bounce back up to the pre-market high, or at least half this week. Sometimes I go to. And as we pull back, it pulls back and it broke my low. That's what I call ego trading, where I didn't take it. I'm like, okay, maybe it can bounce, right? Ego trading, and it takes me out. bad trade, $1,100 loss. You know, but things like that happen. Like I said, I pray and I'm working, to be more closer to God and to learn to be more obedient and to do things His way, not my way. So I took a loss on that trade. That's what happened when you're disobedient, right? So I took a loss on that trade, and like I said, but at the end of the day, we had an awesome month. After that trade, I think I had one more bad trade where I was also disobedient. I was ego trading, trying to trade the news, which you don't do. Do not ever try to trade the news. But anyway, yes, an awesome month of extra $3,400. Man, come on, you know, and it's only getting better. Um, the months before has been awesome as well. But I wanted to show you guys something recent. Hey, if you want to join the Options Council, my website is attached to my page. Come sign up, man. Hey, look, you get all my alerts that I do when I trade. You get everything for materials, or if you want to learn, I'll be happy to show you that. I
Ladies and
also
gentlemen, the
want
Options
to let you
Council.
know that you get the 7-day free trial as well. So, just so you can see and get a look into the world of the Option Council,
We about to
where
do it real
where
big.
there's nothing perfect. We do things, God's way.
All I can say
So,
is that God
hey,
is.
I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a nice day.